ahead here on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station has been asking the tough questions about your rising utility costs. And tonight, we're taking those questions to United Illuminating and Eversource themselves. We'll hear who they're blaming.
And a Connecticut neighborhood prone to flooding is getting a much-needed solution. How a new pipeline is aiming to help Job's Pond prepare for rainy weather.
And we're taking you to a special birthday in Newtown. A 101-year-old veteran's being celebrated tonight. And he's sharing his story of sacrifice, hard work, and his secret to a long life.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Bridget Piorlo.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Utility customers are still furious about an additional cost already being tacked on to a rising electric bill.
Calls are coming from all over the state demanding the lawmakers take action. Fox 61's Kaylee Collins tells us how some of them are responding.
The outrage continues.
I was shocked with the increase from June to July.
As electric rates remain sky high.
Residents just can't afford it anymore.
Connecticut's news station has pressed lawmakers.
There are things that can be done to reduce the rates, and we should be doing them.
And utility companies.
More than a year ago, we had let regulators know that the rates that they had set did not reflect the actual cost of those programs.
On what's being done to help struggling residents. While many ratepayers are pushing for the public's benefits charges to be eradicated, some lawmakers, including a Republican state senator we spoke with here in Simsbury, are pushing for a special session sooner rather than later.
In fact, last week we had a joint press conference with both the House and the Senate Republicans. We demanded or strongly requested a special session, and I think it should happen. It should definitely happen. We need to do something to have some relief for the ratepayer.
That's something that those attending a pizza and policy discussion in Simsbury on Thursday night say they support.
I am all for a special session because I think the current offer on the table is to just let this go until the normal legislative session, which by the time that happens, most of this will have been funded by us, the ratepayers in Connecticut.
Some argue a special session would allow lawmakers to consider what some have called common sense options.
So this could be tackled now, and it could be paid for with state surplus, which is in the billion.
The legislator needs to get back and take control of it. You know, they're one of the three branches of government, and they need to take responsibility for that.
Reporting in Simsbury, Kaylee Collins, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And coming up at 10:30, Fox 61's taking those questions directly to utility companies to get you the answers. So stick around to hear what they had to say as the uproar from energy customers is still continuing.
Well, this was the sight from Pawcatuck earlier today.
Wow.
You could hear it there as hail hit part of the state. Some people dealing with that hail, others saw some rain. It was a pretty active night for parts of our state.
Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for a first check at the forecast and what people saw. Rachel, that's a nasty little guy there.
Nasty. I'm surprised that there wasn't damage, because once you start getting to hail that's over an inch in diameter, closing in on closer to 2, then you're talking about, damage that can happen to roofs. This is from Mike Petrucci and the eastern side of Suffield, and boy, was this impressive. And again, we also saw some very large hail in southeastern Connecticut around Pawcatuck today too. Other parts of the state stayed completely dry. I think some of you are watching this from your couch or your bed tonight going, do we live in the same state? Because there were other parts that just saw nothing but sunshine. There is a chance for a leftover shower, maybe a rumble of thunder here in northeastern Connecticut. You'll see it looks like there is another thunderstorm that's primarily going to end up missing us in Rhode Island, but still a couple of showers that are coming into Tolland and Windham counties and also into northern Hartford County too, although the worst is definitely far, far from over. As we head through the evening tonight, temperatures will settle back into the 60s. There could be areas of patchy fog as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. And tomorrow we're looking at plenty of sunshine. It will be warm and humid as we head through the afternoon. And we're looking at high temperatures in the middle to upper 80s. This computer model is showing the slightest chance for a shower, but nothing like what we saw outside today. And it's a nice Friday evening ahead before more clouds push in this weekend, but it's not all bad. We're going to talk about when the best times are to make outdoor plans this weekend coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. New at 10, some relief for homeowners along Job's Pond in Portland. Officials say the dewatering project should begin soon. You can see it here. Neighbors say the water's risen around 20 feet in a year. Look at that. The construction of a much-needed pipeline is scheduled to begin August 22nd, with pumping to begin by Labor Day weekend. The project's estimated to take about a month to complete.
Booze will stay banned in several state parks. The Department of Energy and Environmental Protection is extending a temporary alcohol ban at 7 spots. The ban is in effect until November 10th at Beach Pond State Boat Launch, Gardner Lake, Lake Warmog, Pawcasset State Park, Quantick State Forest, Wadsworth Falls, and portions of Pawchog State Forest as well. The temporary ban comes after an increase over unruly behavior at state parks in recent years.
New tonight from Branford, police are investigating a crash there. Details are limited right now, but as of 20 minutes ago, police tell us part of East Main Street's closed as they investigate. We do not know if anyone was hurt. We'll update you as soon as we learn more.
A man is in critical condition right now at Hartford Hospital. Police found him on Broad Street this afternoon with serious gunshot wounds, they say. Hartford police say the man was shot near Hungerford and Russ Streets around 1:30. You're looking at that area on the map on your screen there. They believe the man is in his 20s and he ran from where the shooting happened. If you know anything about that shooting, call Hartford police. And Hartford police also investigating a second shooting, this one from last night. Police say a man with gunshot wounds walked into the hospital just before 7:30 with non-life-threatening injuries. He told officers he was shot on Martin Street. No word on any suspects or arrests at this time, but if you know anything, call Hartford police.
An American Airlines flight making its way to Bradley International had to be diverted. Passengers and crew members reported smelling a strange smell in the cabin. The airline says flight 2392 had to land at Raleigh-Durham only moments after taking off from Charlotte. Oxygen masks did not deploy. No one was hurt. The airline still looking into what happened.
Law enforcement officials say they have arrested 5 people in connection with the death of Friends star Matthew Perry. The actor died on October 28th after an apparent drowning in a hot tub at his Los Angeles home. He was 54 years old. Perry's autopsy results, which were released in December, detected trace amounts of ketamine in his stomach. His death was listed due to acute effects of ketamine. Officials say doctors supplied Perry with a large amount of ketamine and wondered in a text message how much he would be willing to pay. And get this, United States Attorney General Martin Estrada says over a 2-month period, the people involved gave exactly 20 vials of ketamine to Perry in exchange for $55,000 in cash.
In this case, we are not talking about legitimate ketamine treatment. We're talking about 2 doctors who abused the trust they had, abused their licenses to put another person's life at risk. 5 defendants who, as I mentioned, knew what they were doing was wrong.
Ketamine helps patients mentally disconnect from pain. The autopsy said Perry reportedly received ketamine infusion therapy for depression and anxiety, but his last known treatment was more than 1 week prior to his death, leading the medical examiner to determine the ketamine in his system at the time of his death could not be from that infusion therapy. So again, 5 people arrested in connection with his death. Very sad.
Especially after Michael Jackson, you think they
It makes you think about that, doesn't it?